Hey there, third graders. So it's week 3, day 3. It's our writing mini lesson. You are going to need to take out your which are better dogs or cats packets. Make sure you have this available. If you'll remember yesterday, we dove in here. On the first day, we went through and we filled out this information. We analyzed how Henry Reagan wrote his letter to the editor about why he thought dogs were better. We also looked at Juliet Charles and her letter to the editor and why she thought cats were better. We have our cat fact sheet here. We also have a dog fact sheet that gives us facts about dogs. And then you have your respond to questions that you did. On the write the essay page, remember, this is going to be blank. You do not have to do this side at all. In fact, what we did was we'll have you do the flea map on the back side of the paper. So today what we're going to do, if it was on this one, we're going to talk about the reasons why we feel the way that we do about dogs or cats. Let me get those lights kind of under control. There we go. That's a little bit better. So if you remember yesterday, I told you that I personally am a dog person. So I feel like dogs are better pets than cats. And I wrote that I feel this way because dogs and humans have lived together for many years. They travel easily and dogs help humans. So remember, I have my transition words. So to begin with, dogs and humans have been companions for 10,000 years. That's a long time. So what I want to do is I'm going to concentrate on this part of my essay writing today. So if I tell you that dogs and humans have been companions for 10,000 years, one thing you can do when you're doing an opinion piece like this is you give your point and then you give something called a counterpoint. It means, so I'm telling you that dogs are better than cats because they've been together for 10,000 years. If I look on the cat fact sheet here, it says that cats have been associated with humans for at least 9,500 years. So as you guys know, 9,500 is less than 10,000 by about 500 years. So I could say, to begin with, dogs and humans have been companions for over 10,000 years. So now my follow-up sentence, I could talk about this is more than 500 years longer than humans have been with cats. This is more than 500 years longer than humans have been with cats. That's pretty cool. So dogs and cats, or humans have been living with dogs longer than cats. So I can add that as my follow-up reason for feeling this way about dogs and humans have been companions for 10,000 years. Now what I'm going to have to do is I have to come up with at least one or two more reasons why I feel this way. So humans have been companions and dogs have been companions for 10,000 years. More than 500 years they've been with cats. So when I tell you that they've been together for 10,000 years, that tells us that, humans and dogs, we've been together for a very long time. And also, in addition, if I tell you it's 500 years longer than cats have been associated with human beings, that means that humans have had a longer relationship with dogs than they have with cats. So I'm going to add that. Humans on relationship, I ran out of room. So I'm going to do something called a dash or a hyphen. I'm just going to put that in here. Relationships. Humans have had longer relationships with dogs and cats. Okay, cool. So I have two reasons here. I'm going to stop here for now. If I come up with another one, it'll give me some room I can just kind of squeeze in. Maybe instead of writing a complete sentence, I might just put kind of a bulleted point idea here. These are just to get my ideas and kind of organized for now. So let's move over to our next one. It says, in addition, dogs travel easily. That seems a little vague. So what I'm really saying is that in addition, dogs travel easier than cats. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to say dogs can travel easier than cats. So now I want to prove that. So one of the things that I know is that they can easily walk on a leash. So instead of writing out a complete sentence, I'm just going to write the word leash here. Now, cats can ride on, I know that I've seen cats walk on leashes too before, but usually it's much more common for dogs to travel on leashes. They also, remember in our, it talked about how dogs, when they travel, they can go to the park and to the lake, and they can go to very public places, even around the block. I'm going to put block. But cats, if you're going to travel to those, remember what the reading said? That they would need carriers. Because they're more likely to take off on their own. If you just kind of walk outside with your cat, it may follow you for a little while, but, you know, well, I should say some cats. It's not fair to say all, but we are generalizing here. Now, did you notice on this one, I didn't write complete sentences. I just wrote this, but that's just to give me the idea. I'll write an expanded sentence when I take it off of my flea map. So let's look at our last one here. So I have finally, dogs help humans. So remember we talked about exercise was one of the things that came up in the reading. Now, if you get stuck, remember, go back and look in your packet. That's what this is for. You can go back and look in here. I want you to do that. And it talked about how service dogs help people do things they can't do for themselves. They talked about how service dogs, CNI dogs, can help people find their way around. So I'm going to put service dogs here. I know I definitely want to give a sentence or two about why service dogs. There aren't very many service cats. I know that some people have them maybe for emotional support, but not necessarily to help them do tasks. So that's one. Let's see. We have humans. Finally, dogs help humans. And so we can talk about how they exercise. There's service dogs. Remember they talked about the rescue dogs too, that St. Bernard. There's that. There's a really cool about Barry, the service dog, or the St. Bernard rescue dog in Switzerland, and he saved over 40 human lives. Just one dog saved over 40 different people throughout his career. That's pretty awesome too. So these are going to be the top things that I want to talk about here. Now remember, these are just bulleted points. It does not mean that is by any means a complete sentence. But did you notice how these take up a lot less room than this? And in fact, these are just really two ideas. I'm going to have to come up with another one here too. But while I'm writing, I'm just going to while I'm working, I'm going to keep this in the back of my head and see if I can add to this. Sometimes all writing doesn't just come to us like that. You know, you have to think about it a little bit. The other thing that I want to do today is I want to talk about an opposing idea. And it says, others might argue that blank is better than that. When we talk about an opposing idea, it's like some people might say that cats are better than dogs because they're less independent, you know, that cats are more independent than dogs. But that doesn't necessarily make them better pets. It just means that they don't like being around, maybe they don't like being around people quite as much. So when we talk about your opposing idea, what you're doing is you're taking a reason that somebody might have the opposite view as you, and you're trying to turn it around so that you're trying to show why it's not such a great idea. So, you know, one of the things that people talk about with cats too is that, you know, that cats are cleaner than dogs. So I might want to use that. So if I were to say others might argue that cats, because that's the opposite animal of my choice. Now, if I had cats here, I would do dogs. But others might argue that cats are better than dogs because cats are cleaner. However, this isn't true because cats use litter boxes. That need to be cleaned out all the time. Or I could say regularly. I think I like they need to be cleaned out all the time. I might change that around to regularly. I'm gonna have to think about that. So we have others might argue that cats are better than dogs because cats are cleaner. However, this isn't true because cats use litter boxes that need to be cleaned out all the time. how dogs can go outside. Some people might say that they still, even when they go outside, you still have to clean that mess up too. But this, the litter box, kind of smells up your house a little bit too. So maybe we can work that in there. I'm going to have to think about this one some more. While I'm doing that, I want you to go ahead and fill out yours. So you should have your first reason and at least try to come up with at least 3 supporting details. Now on mine, I got stuck on 2. I'm going to have to come back to that. I have 3 supporting details here that go along with this reason and this reason, and then I have my opposing idea here. So once you have all this set, you'll be all ready to. Make sure you read them out loud when you are done. Make sure that it makes sense, because if you don't, you may get a little stuck. All right, 3rd graders, you've got this. Remember, please don't copy my ideas, okay? Do your own. Stretch your brains. I have faith in you. Rock on. Woo-hoo.